What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New, and I'm back in the building for a recap of Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 10, episode 10. I really liked what everybody did for the victims of Hurricane Harvey. I like how everybody came together and did what they had to do. Special shout out to Porsha. Y'all know that I have a love-hate relationship with Porsha where I really want to like her. I do like Porsha, and then I don't like how she don't act grown all the time. But she really showed a different side to herself. And maybe it was something that was always there because she does come from the charity Hosea Feed the Hungry. But yes, baby girl helped people and did what she had to do with a positive attitude, unlike some motherfuckers who I will address as, we get more into the review. But Porsha is a nice woman. Like I said, if she would just kind of mature and settle down and, give us more of a grown-up housewife, I could fucking rock with her. Because I don't think that Porsha is a mean bitch. There are bitches on here that's mean, evil. They don't give a fuck about nobody but theyself. I don't think that she's mean or evil like that. I really don't get that from her. I've never really gotten that from her. So let's get off into the episode. Episode starts out with Porsha. She is with her charity, Hosea Feeds the Hungry. And she's preparing for her event that's going to be in Houston. And Porsha plans on donating food, kids' clothing, toys, school supplies, feminine products. She wants to make sure that they have everything. So next, Shamea calls Porsha saying that, she heard on social media what Porsha was planning to do in Houston as far as giving back, and she wants to be a part of it as well, which I feel is very nice. I thought that was really nice of Shamea to call and see what Porsha needed so she could help out. But I have to give you the side eye, Shamea, because the last time we saw you were showing your ass in front of the candy-coated clique trying to put Porsha on blast for not coming to, your second or third wedding you was having. So I don't really like bitches that it's like if my other friend is around, then now I'll be friendly with you again. But, I don't like that type of shit. And I do believe that Shamea started out being Porsha's friend. So I feel like her loyalty should be more or less with Porsha rather than Candy, even though she is friends with both of them. And yeah, you could be upset for what Porsha did, but at the same time, I will always give Shamea the side eye for what she did with Porsha in front of Candy and the candy-coated clique. Remember, they was saying little shit about, Carmen was saying shit about Porsha and shit, and I just really didn't like that. So, I was looking at Shamea giving her the side eye on that. Okay, so next got Candy and Cynthia. They done meeting up for some lunch, I guess. And they talk about how things went at the elephant room, how everything was crazy. And they loved how Kenya cussed out Kim. And then Candy asked Cynthia, will she be going to Porsha's event? And she said, yeah, if Porsha supports hers. And then Cynthia talks to Kenya, and Kenya claims she's not going to be able to make it to Houston. And you could tell that Cynthia's really bummed out and disappointed that Kenya won't be able to make it. Okay, so next we have Sheree and Prison Bae. And both of them getting on my last motherfucking nerves, y'all. Sheree claims that at this time she can't go to Houston, because of her back issues. So she's gotten doctor's orders for her to, not to travel and, to just pretty much stay put. she ends up talking to Tyrone, which is Prison Bae, her man. And Sheree, I gotta call you out. Why do you keep telling Tyrone how Nene keeps saying stuff about him? She doesn't keep saying stuff about him. She said what she said once. I said what I said. She said it one motherfucking time. And now you keep running back to him, gossiping with a motherfucker in prison. Like, where do they do that at? Oh, well, she keeps saying stuff about you. So anyways, Tyrone is gonna say, oh, she keep running her mouth about me. Well, she don't, how long has Nene been married? And she don't want me to tell her stuff. And then Sheree pretty much lets all of us know that at one point in time when Nene and Greg was going through their issues, Nene was trying to pursue Tyrone, and, you know, she was trying to hang out with Tyrone a lot, like, just really trying. I don't even believe the fucking story. I don't believe it. And Sheree, you really tried it with Nene, because you tried to make it look like Nene wanted that fucking man like that. Like, you know, like she couldn't even get nobody else. And then you go try to say, Sheree, oh, well, she's totally not his type. What's his type? Somebody that don't have a prison record like him, or doing all the little shady con shit that he do. What is his type? He ain't all that. You ain't all that, bitch. Let me call you out, because I remember when I first started watching season 1 out of the whole cast, I said, that woman ain't all that cute. And it was you, Sheree. I'll never forget I had that thought. I said, she not all that pretty to me. Her face looked funny. Sheree is not that pretty at all. She's gotten better over the years. Her body is what really helps her. But Sheree, you're not pretty, bitch. So you need to take back that little comment that you tried to make about how Nene ain't Tyrone's type. If she got a pussy between her legs, bitch, guess what? She probably is his type. Because that's how a lot of these men is. They don't care about no damn looks all like that. He can't care about it too much. He with your ass. Shit, you got them big ass calves like... she got a nice body, but it's kind of like a man body, you know, got them big ass, calves. And girl, sit your ass down. So next we have, Riley and, Candy. And Riley is... pretty much, she's practicing driving. And Riley is weird to me, you guys. I don't understand the girl. She just acts so... I don't know, y'all. She just act like she always had this little attitude. She don't want to be on camera. You know, the girl was driving on the wrong side of the motherfucking street. Anyways, after they get done practicing, she wouldn't be practicing in my shit. I'll hire you a damn driving teacher and you will go from there. I am not practicing with my child. Shit. No, ma'am. Anyways, that damn Block, he calls, and I'm like, damn, he's still in the picture. So, he calls, and Riley is making all these silly ass faces. And, I don't know, it just seems like, Block is, you know, he speaks to Riley and, you know, he tells Candy, you know, I'm trying to hang out with Riley. He's getting ready to have a new baby. And, you know, he has been stepping up. Candy said that, you know, he's been reaching out more, calling, and that's good. That's good. Like, Riley, if your dad is trying to, I know that you 15 and you feel like the motherfucker ain't been around, but shit, motherfucker trying to step in and, you know, come back into the picture, then let him. You either go let your dad in or you're not. And I'm not saying give him everything he wants and, you know, just open up your heart fully, because I get that you're still hurt, but you have to let people in if they're trying to at least try to hang out with you, try to call you more. You have to, Candy, you have to have that conversation with her. Say you either want your dad in your life or you don't. You know, I understand how you feel, but you have to be open and stop making all these silly ass faces. She just acts like an old lady. I don't know. And then, anyways, y'all, after she get off the phone with him, she goes into, before they go in the house, Candy had noticed how Riley's face changed when Block called. You know, she notices she's acting different. So anyways, once they get in the house, Riley breaks down and she's crying. And Candy, you know, is trying to comfort her. I didn't really understand why she was crying. I hope Candy is not forcing the child to have anything to do with him. I don't think she would do that. But, you know, it's just... yes or no. You know, you either want your dad in your life or you don't, but you can't be crying, acting like, you know, he ain't trying to reach out, you know, because he is. So, I don't know. I don't know a lot about that, y'all. And then they had a scene before Riley and Candy scene with Porsha and Cynthia and them, you know, getting situated, you know, for the event. So, okay, so next they show Porsha. She is at the radio station and she's advertising about her event, telling people to come down and, you know, get some food. Then next thing I know, they show Cynthia. She's getting her makeup done for her event. And so next we have Cynthia and Mal. They are actually hosting a benefit concert, and the proceeds are going to the victims of Hurricane Harvey. And, you know, it looked like a nice little event, you know. I really like, you know, how everybody is coming together. But one thing I do notice, you guys, it just seemed like when Nene, Marlo, you know, when they're not on, the episode is boring because you got, and I'm proud of Porsha, you guys, like I said, but Porsha, Cynthia, and Candy, they cannot they cannot run this show. They can't be in charge of this show. Okay, so I had skipped over, you guys. I apologize. There was a scene, I believe it was Porsha's event, because she had a little event too on that Friday. And, you know, Cynthia was there helping her out. So they was helping people out there. So Porsha did come, you know, to Cynthia's event to help out. And, you know, while Cynthia and Mal, you know, they hosted this benefit concert. And the proceeds, they went to all the victims of Hurricane Harvey. And then Cynthia, Mal, and Porsha end up speaking at the event on, you know, how they're there to help the people and give back. Okay, so next we have Porsha and Shamea. And they pretty much talk about how things went at the bridal shower. And, you know, how Porsha was hurt. You know, how Shamea had put her on blast and stuff in front of Candy. So, like I said, y'all, that was fucked up with that motherfucker Shamea pulled. But they end up, you know, working things out and, you know, realizing that they coming back together to give back to charity. So that's really, you know, what's important to them right now. So now we have this flip-flopping ass Kenya. She done brought her ass in Houston. And she said she done called Habitat for Humanity to help people build homes for people whose homes, you know, have been destroyed. And I felt like that was good. But Kenya, why the fuck you didn't just tell Cynthia you was coming? I just felt like you was being real funny with that. You know, it's like you wanted to just pop up on people, you know. So then, and then Kenya tried to throw some shade Because she go say something, well, she's not, she had mentioned that Porsha, she knew that Porsha was having an event, but she's not there to party and put on a fancy dress. You know, she's actually there to help people. I didn't really like that comment, Kenya. To me, you had a fucking nasty ass attitude the whole motherfucking episode, and I wasn't motherfucking here for it, bitch. You were there to help people, and you should have had a better attitude. Okay, so next, Porsha pretty much tells Shamea to go by Kenya's event to support her building homes for, you know, Habitat Humanity. And Porsha had ended up greeting Kenya, and, you know, they talk, and then Kenya tells Porsha, you know, what she's doing, because Kenya had introduced her to her little nieces and stuff, and she was like, okay, well, y'all, good luck with your event. Then Kenya also mentioned Cynthia's going to be at her event, and Porsha is very much so bothered and thrown off by this, because when Kenya was there, she agreed to help. When Kenya wasn't there, Cynthia agreed to help Porsha. Cynthia, I got to call your ass to the carpet, because I feel like, don't change your plans based off of who shows up. You know, I feel like all of a sudden that Kenya showed up, all of a sudden you didn't want to really help Porsha no more. You want to go, and I get you and Kenya are closer, but stick by who you said you was go fucking help out, bitch. So then Cynthia tried to tell Porsha, well, you know, we may stop by your event, you know, when it's done, you know, but, you know, if we get caught up, we get caught up. See, there she backpedaling. So next we got Candy and Block. Candy talks to Block about Riley breaking down, and basically their whole scene was about Block just telling Candy, hey, we need to be better examples, because if Riley feels like me and you ain't cool, then she's not going to want to be cool with me. And I totally agree with that. And Candy also mentions that they should go to counseling, you know, since Riley is still having a tough time being around him and talking with him. So I feel like that's a good suggestion for all of them to go to counseling and work that situation out to figure out why Riley is so uncomfortable and bothered by Block calling, trying to be in her life. Okay, so next, Porsha pretty much sets up for her event. Then they show Kenya is with Habitat for Humanity, and she's about to, you know, help build houses, knock out drywall, those type of things. And then Porsha, they show her, she's at her event, serving meals. Lauren is doing a raffle to give out gift cards. I really liked all of that. Then Porsha begins running out of food, and, you know, she breaks down and cries because, you know, she really wants to help, you know, everybody out. And I don't know, I felt like that was so genuine of Porsha to be so hurt about wanting to help everybody. And like I said, you guys, I really, I love Porsha this episode. I loved her. I loved her attitude with helping, unlike bitch-ass Kenya that had to have this nasty-ass, shitty-ass attitude. And Kenya, I'm about to get your ass together. Just because you're helping people, bitch, that don't mean you have the right to act nasty and shitty with people. So anyways, let's get off into that. Cynthia offers Kenya and Mel water while they're working, and then that motherfucking Kenya goes say to Cynthia, well, let's get this wall done first before we even take any water breaks. She was very dismissive and nasty with Cynthia. And then Kenya gets a phone call. It's Shamea. Shamea calls to see where Kenya is. Kenya was nasty once again. This bitch acts just very dismissive when she talks to Shamea. And she just tells Shamea, well, you need to ask the volunteers where we're working at. You know, we're really busy right now. I gotta go. And hung up on her. Rude as fuck. And Kenya, let me get you together real quick. Bitch, if you want other people to change their opinion of you, then bitch, you need to change. You don't have the right to treat people any kind of motherfucking way. And that's what you did. You're supposed to have this charitable attitude. You know, it's not just about helping people like physically. Mentally, you should still be nice and courteous when people ask you questions. You were acting like a nasty ass bitch. You was acting nasty with Cynthia, now Shamea. You know, it's just like you did good on your domestic violence PSA, Kenya. I was rooting for you, bitch. I was rooting for you, and then you let me down. Once again, let me down. So anyway, Shamea comes in. She finds out where they're at, and Shamea lets Kenya know that Porsha sent her there, you know, on her behalf. And Kenya said, you know, that's fine. And then she lets her know, Shamea lets Kenya know that Porsha has a donation for her. And Kenya said, well, we could just get to that stuff later. You could have said, oh, that's really nice. You know, okay, we could take care of that. There's a way to say things, you negative, nasty ass bitch. Ugh. Then, Shamea begins saying, you know what, you guys, I'm happy to be here, happy to help everybody out. And y'all know I'm not the biggest fan of Shamea, but she ain't do nothing wrong. She ain't do nothing wrong. You know, just trying to be positive. And then Kenya motherfucking ass go say, less talking, more working. Kenya, you is ridiculous. Rude ass bitch. I would have slapped your ass. I would have tripped your ass. Shit. So, they show Porsha, and during this time, you know, she's still out of food. She's crying. And, you know, the owner of Clean Takeout went and got more food for, you know, the people that was at her event. And Porsha noticed that Cynthia never showed up. And I think that really hurt Porsha's feelings, because she felt like, you know, we all agreed to help. And I thought, you know, that she would be there for me, because I believe Porsha has supported Cynthia's event. So that's pretty much what happened with that. So then after they're done with all the work they did for Hurricane Harvey, all the girls, they go to dinner. It's Lauren, Porsha, Cynthia, and Shamea. Lauren mentions that her and Porsha worked on their event for weeks, you know, for a couple of weeks, and was disappointed with Cynthia that she didn't come. But another thing was weird was they had already had an event on Friday. I guess Porsha wanted her to be at the one that was on Saturday. But, you know, well, Cynthia was like, well, you know, I just came to, you know, where everybody told me to go. And then Lauren says, well, to Cynthia, she's like, well, don't you want to support those who support you? And Cynthia was like, well, I do support those that, you know, that support me. And then she kind of got on her, Lauren got on Cynthia, how Cynthia didn't come and help out at Porsha's event, you know. And I felt like that was, all of you guys are doing this for charity. You know, that's pretty much what it's about. But yeah, Cynthia, I felt like you was wrong. You tend to do that, Cynthia, when somebody you like is around. You tend to just do what they want you to do. And you don't stick by your word, and your word is all you have. So I felt like you should have been with Porsha. You probably would have got treated a lot better, bitch. You know? And then they end up joking about it, because Porsha pretty much was like, well, yeah, once Kenya said, hey, big head, you know, then Cynthia, you ran your ass over there with her. So it was nice that they was able to joke about it. And then Shamea had mentioned, you know, how Kenya's energy is hit or miss. And Mal agreed that Kenya could have been nicer. Cynthia, your lying ass go say, she didn't act like that. I didn't really notice her energy being off. Didn't she dismiss you when you tried to bring her water? Bitch, please. That bitch was rude as fuck. So then Kenya finally shows her ass up. I don't remember the bitch saying hi to anybody. You know, she tried to order food. They were closed. You should have got there earlier, bitch. So then Shamea brings up how Kenya was talking to her Matter of fact, Shamea had brought this up before Kenya got to the table. And she had mentioned how Kenya, was nasty. And Cynthia is the one that told Shamea to bring it up to Kenya about how she felt, to address it and knock it out. So then Shamea had brought up, to Kenya, how she was talking to her and how she rushed her off the phone. And Shamea said, I felt very dismissed. And then Kenya go say something, well, don't take it personal. And Shamea says that, she thought things was going well with her and Kenya. And Kenya keeps interrupting her, asking for water. And then that motherfucker Shamea said, just bring her 2 pitchers, shit, so I'm not interrupted no more. Then Shamea told her, she was trying to, find her, and, she just felt dismissed, And then Kenya doesn't want to hear it. She don't want to hear none of this shit. And Kenya says that Shamea should just give her the benefit of the doubt. She didn't mean nothing by it. And Shamea pretty much still feels dismissed, and she's trying to let Kenya know. And then Porsha gets involved, telling Kenya how, she could have let Shamea finish talking, because Shamea had more to say. And then Shamea goes, to try to talk to Kenya again about how she was acting. Kenya gets up. Kenya goes to the bathroom telling the producers, I don't give a fuck about none of them bitches. Every time I try to do something positive, it always turns out to be some bullshit. Then Porsha tries to come in and talk to her. Kenya says, you can't say nothing to me. She says that to Porsha. And I'm like, why are you acting like you are so much better than these bitches? Because Kenya, if Nene, Marlo, Candy, any of them was there, you wouldn't have treated them like that. It was something about her feeling like she's the Beyonce of the group when she's with Porsha and Cynthia and Shamea. She feels like they're beneath her. That was Kenya's attitude. I hope you guys paid attention. She ain't got no respect for them. And Cynthia, you's a motherfucking fool. You a motherfucking fool. And you go sit up there and say she wasn't really acting like that. And everybody else clearly saw how rude she was being. So after everybody tried to talk to this bitch, Cynthia tries to talk to Kenya. And Kenya is out in the truck, talking about, well, I just got to go back to the hotel room. And Cynthia was like, well, no, I really need to talk to you. And Kenya was like, no, I'm not giving you a moment. And bitch, bye. Kenya, I tried with your motherfucking ass, and once again, you disappoint me with your holier than thou attitude. All right, y'all, that was Real Housewives of Atlanta. Look like some shit about to pop off next week with my girl Eva Marcel is joining the class. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your girl Brand New, and I'm out.